Welcome to Ever After High, the school where students study to fulfill the roles their parents filled before them. However, there's a split in the student body. Royals who choose to follow in their parents' footsteps, and rebels who choose to break away from the paths laid out for them. But what will become of the rebels after escaping the narrative, and what will happen to the stories they were a part of? Another question you may be asking is, who am I? I am the narrator of this story, JK. My name is Octodrawn, and I'm an artist. I love drawing, animating, and dolls. Growing up, I always got dolls for my birthday. But now that I'm an adult, I don't really get dolls as gifts anymore. That doesn't mean I'm any less in love with dolls though. I love keeping track of new releases and watching OOAK content on YouTube. Specifically, I'm very interested in the new reboot of the Monster High franchise. While there are many issues with Monster High G3, I really love how they diversified the bodies and face molds of the dolls. But all that has got me thinking, what if Monster High's sister series, Ever After High, got the same treatment? In this video, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I picked 3 characters to put my own spin on and redesign. Now, time for a few disclaimers. Number 1. I am not by any means a professional character designer. I am just a silly little guy on the internet who wants to have some fun. I recognize that all of these designs are extremely self-indulgent and probably not very technically good. Number 2. I am basing these designs on my memory of the webisodes and movies and a few character bios I found online. If you view these designs as inaccurate to the characters, I am sorry. Again, this is all for fun and entertainment. Number 3. I did these designs in a different order than I'm showing here. I'm sorry if the format's confusing. This is my first proper video, so I apologize if there are any mistakes. With all that out of the way, let's begin. Starting with Apple White, daughter of Snow White and leader of the Royals. I think Apple is easily one of the most interesting characters in the series. She's kind and smart but can be bossy at times, but that's what makes her such a good leader. However, she is also under a lot of pressure from her mother. She's been told all her life that once her story is complete, she will live happily ever after. She sees Raven as the only thing standing in the way of reaching what she has been told all her life that she wanted. To Apple, this is a personal attack. She has given up so much, being the considerate person she is. Why does Raven have the right to selfishly take it all away from her, to live a life without any clear direction? I think all these thoughts are central to her character. For her design, I want to convey the perfect beauty she's characterized by. I like to think she's the kind of girl to journal every night, and has one of those extremely organized bedrooms. I want her to have a clean and peppy aesthetic. I also wanted the characters to have less of a ball gown-like look to their everyday clothes. In her original design, there are a lot of patterns going on, especially on her skirt. While they are ornate, which is suiting of a princess, I don't think they really suited her character. I wanted to give homage to her princesshood by giving her puff sleeves as well as stripping her in golden pearls. I tied her hair back to give her more of a studious and mature look. Also, I changed her eye color to black so she would have more similarities to the original Snow White story. I kept her color palette very similar to her original design. I did that for most of the characters I redesigned today, because they have good color palettes. That's all I have to say for now, so let's watch the rest of the speed paint. And here's the final product. Woo! Next up is Raven Queen, the daughter of the evil queen and leader of the rebels. Despite being a very kind person, the student body of Ever After High fears her due to her future role as the evil queen. Despite being the leader and founder of the rebels, she does not enjoy being a leader at all. Her ostracization from the rest of her peers has made her snippy and sarcastic. She's roommates with Applewhite, who wants her to be more evil even though it's not what's in Raven's heart. In her redesign, I want to give her a bit of a basket case look, similar to Allison from The Breakfast Club. Her dynamic with Apple reminds me a lot of Elphaba and Glinda from Wicked. With all that in mind, I went for more of a whimsigoth look for her. I think she really suits the long skirt look. I don't really know how to describe her hair. I don't think she's the kind of person to keep up touching her roots, you know. It might be a bit hard to give an actual doll this haircut because I know how hard it is to style short hair on a doll. Fortunately, I don't need to do that. Yay for me! Anyways, I made her tall to keep up, her intimidating status. I don't know how much resemblance she has to her original character, but I think her new design looks nice. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. If you hate it, feel free to also comment that. I like engagement. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for Raven. See you when it's finished. Wow, there it is. How nice. Last on the chopping block is Madeline Hatter, daughter of the Mad Hatter. Does that mean her dad's name is Mad? Is Raven's mom named Evil? Do they just lose their first names when they do their little story? I don't know. Any Ever After High scholars can sound off in the comments. Anyways, Maddie is a very silly lady. She's very bubbly and energetic. She acts as comic relief in most episodes, and is often very serious in her silliness. She sides with the rebels even though she intends to follow her own destiny. In her original design, there's a lot of Lolita fashion inspiration. A similar fashion subculture in Japan is Decora K. In the end, she kinda came out as a mix between the two and OG fashion. I want the top half of her design to be reminiscent of Victorian England menswear compared to in Ever After where everyone else looks more princess-y. I want to have her look a bit unhinged and mismatched, so I did the classic character design strat of having her main colors mirrored on each side of her design. She's the only character I remembered to give makeup during the recording. Oops. Okay, I'm out of notes for Maddie, so I'll leave you here to watch the speed paint and we can meet back up for the conclusions once it's done. And here she is. Woo! And here's all of them together. I'm not sure if I like these designs more than the originals, but I had a lot of fun doing them, and I'm proud of myself for all the work I've put into this video. Also, I'm proud of you for making it this far in. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to octo like and squid scribe. Bye bye and best fishes, octodrawn.